It's thinking, hey, everybody, we are live. It finally decided to let us go live. I am Haley Gray, and I'm the founder of the Women's Entrepreneur Network. I'm excited to have an amazing guest with you here today, Jennifer Jayne. And we're going to be talking about AI and nailing your messaging if you are using AI and how to make it sound like you. Let's do this.
Yay,
hello,
let's go.
hello. Let's do this. Let's go. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi.
Can you hear
Thanks
me?
for having me.
Hi. It's been a
I
little
can.
weird.
There we go.
And yeah, there we go. So, we're going to be talking about AI today, and we're going to be talking about leveraging AI for your messaging and your social media. And this is something that I just have been honestly loving on for about the last year. It is so powerful. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, it's such a fun topic for me. I am a brand strategist and content creator and the co-founder of Enchanted Prosperity. And in Enchanted Prosperity, we help coaches and entrepreneurs and business owners market and leverage AI to create passive lead generation automations in their business and more free time while still making, money and having those leads be generated in the background. So we both do that as a service that we provide, like a high ticket service, and then we teach it so that entrepreneurs who want to do these kinds of things for themselves can kind of DIY it, along with having the right strategies and the right tools and techniques to make it efficient and effective. Because if you're just trying to kind of navigate the world of AI and you're just kind of clicking buttons and trying to do all the different things, oftentimes you get really poor results or you get frustrated at how long it's taking when AI is supposed to make your life simpler. So I love having this conversation and teaching about the different ways AI actually is effective when you have your messaging nailed, because that's really the key.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things to be really clear on with AI is that it is really a case of garbage in, garbage out.
1,000%.
And, you need to kind of work with it and work to nail your messaging and work to get good stuff. It's not like it's not as intelligent as people think it is.
Right. It's artificial intelligence, which means if you aren't giving it the right ingredients, I love using the analogy of baking a cake, right? Like you can run to the dollar store and grab a box cake and a can of Sprite, and you can make a cake. It'll look like a cake and it'll taste like something. Or you can go to, the high quality food store and grab the best flour, the best eggs, the best sugar, the best vanilla, and make a cake from scratch using the best quality ingredients. Which one's going to win awards? Which one's going to actually have the best results? Which one's going to taste the most amazing? And really, it's about the ingredients that you're giving the AI. So understanding your messaging, understanding your ideal client, and understanding, really the market and having done your market research all provides value that allows your AI tools to create way better results. And that's really what it boils down to, is like you said, garbage in, garbage out.
100%. And here's the thing that a lot of people tell me when they come to me is, I don't want to do social media. I want to have you do it. Great. And we do that for people. But here's the thing is that, you need to have high quality content that's on brand, that's on message, and it can't be just once a week.
Yes. Oh my gosh, no. 1,000, yes. Like so much yes for that one. A little bit of a soapbox for me is that, you can't post once a day on Facebook and expect to have a wait list for your offers. You can't post, 3 times a week on Instagram and expect to move the needle forward on the relationship development and the conversations you need to have to actually get people to convert. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with offers and ideas and ads and colorful, shiny things. And if you have ADHD, it's that much more like squirrely and chaotic. So we have to be able to cut through the noise, which is why clear messaging is really important. But we also have to remind people that we exist, right? We talk about how many touches you need in your marketing. on a regular basis inside of what we teach, and in my own marketing. Like, it used to be the average brand needed 7 to 10 touches before you were ready to like actually pursue purchasing. Now it's over 20. Like, you have to have over 20 connection points, or I'm not just talking about like they liked your post. Like, you need to have them commenting, or you need to be responding back and engaging with them multiple times before they're going to be ready to move forward in the buying process. And with algorithms, if you're only posting a couple of times a week, it's going to take you months, if not years, to have those touch points where you're building the relationship to the point where they're ready to pull the trigger and spend thousands of dollars with you. And I mean, even maybe only hundreds of dollars with you, because people are so careful with where they're putting their money right now. So if you want to shorten that cycle and you want to move the sales process faster and you want to get people to say yes quicker, guess what? You need more content. You have to show up more often. You have to be as visible as possible and get in front of every opportunity and every audience that you can, which means creating a lot more content. And if I tell people that we create 15 to 30 pieces of content for our clients per day across multiple platforms, that usually freaks them right the heck out. But 15 is our bare bones minimum, and we're usually pushing closer to 30 and sometimes upwards of 50, depending on what we're selling and what we're promoting for our clients. And we teach our students how to do the same thing using AI, crystal clear messaging, and the right workflows.
Right. And this is important stuff, because I deal with people all the time that are freaked out at the sheer volume of posting and the sheer number of platforms that I want to post on.
Yeah.
And the reality is, in business, you're either moving forward or you're sliding backwards. And there's another component that you didn't mention that I want to throw in there, is that people have the attention span of basically goldfishes, and we're so distracted on our social media platforms, and the retention in their brains of who you are and what it is that you do is basically non-existent.
Yeah.
And if you are posting infrequently, they're just not even going to remember you. So, you can take that 20 touch points and 10x it or 20x it or more, because you're not posting often enough for them to actually remember who you are and what you do and how you can help them.
Right. So every time they engage with you, it's like you're starting all over again, because it's been so long that they're like, who is this person? You seem vaguely familiar, but that's it. That's all you've got. Like, it's like, oh, I sort of recognize your face a little bit, but I have no idea how or what or why.
Right. And so here's the thing, is like, they kind of sort of know you, they kind of sort of, and then you're starting all over again. You do have bonus points where they kind of sort of remember you.
Right.
But they don't know what it's for.
Right.
And, in a world where people are bombarded with coaches and services and all the things, they also have to be at a phase where they're ready to buy whatever it is that you're selling. So whether you're selling roofing, or whether you're selling painting, or whether you're selling whatever it is, you still have to be top of mind, which means you have to be there to catch them. And then you have to grab the 20 points of contact at that point where they're actually starting to think about it. Most of your buyers are not Insta yes clients.
Yeah.
Only a small fraction are just like going to buy immediately.
Yeah. It takes time and connection and relationship building to like take someone who's just discovered who you are and that you do a cool thing to a point where they're not just like oh, cool, maybe one day, but like a hell yes, let's do it right now connection. And that takes, clarity in showing up consistently, which means clarity in your messaging. It means actually showing up on the platforms on a regular basis. And when we talk about, the number of pieces of client we're pushing out across the board, and we say, 30 plus pieces of content, we're talking a couple Instagram stories, a couple Facebook stories, but not just personal Facebook. We're talking your page, and like every place you can put content on a platform, you should be putting content. Gone are the days where doing one Instagram or one Facebook post a day was good enough. It's not. It's just that's the reality of the world we live in right now. There's so much content, and to cut through and to shorten that cycle, you have to just be everywhere, all at once. And it feels really overwhelming unless you know the tools that are available to you and you know how to use them so that you still sound and feel like yourself when you're creating a massive amount of content.
Yeah. And that's where AI comes in.
Yeah, 100%. And there's so many amazing AI tools. My favorite is ChatGPT. I've dabbled and played with a number of different ones, and they're all great for different purposes. I've just found ChatGPT to be the one that like really works for the way I like to prompt and the way I like to pull information out of it. So ChatGPT and I are in a long-term relationship right now, and we're having fun, and we're creating magic together. And it's been really cool to test and tweak and play. I've kind of known for a while that you could like put a URL into ChatGPT and ask it to like create content based off of a blog post you've already written. And I was playing with that last week and getting really cool results. So there's always things to learn and tools to pay attention to. And I used to swear up, down, and sideways that I wasn't a tech person, that like I hated tech and I didn't get along. It's certain parts of tech, but I've also reframed that, mindset, and that it's not that I can't do tech. It's that I choose not to because it's not something that gets me really excited until we start talking about AI tools. And I have subscribed to every newsletter and every update and every Google search that talks about new and emerging AI tech because I find it so fascinating, and it is rapidly changing the landscape, not just of the world, but especially entrepreneurship and how we operate as business owners.
100%. And, you can ignore the fact that it's out there and the fact that it's helping shape, social media and social media posting. But the reality is it's real. You can't ignore it.
Yeah.
And, and you also, I think that one of the things that be really important to understand with ChatGPT or any AI software or any software is that it does have limitations. And that's why you either hire somebody to work it for you, or you invest the time, the effort, and the energy in getting to know it, because you either use it just like Zoom or whatever, or you get left behind.
Yeah. The conversation I'm having a lot is the mindset around how we use AI, right? Like, so many people are afraid that AI is going to take over the world and it's going to be horrible, and we're going to be living in iRobot in no time flat. And I disagree with that. I mean, maybe 10 years in the future, that'll be a conversation that could feel a little more realistic. But right now, AI is a tool that we get to use. And when you look at it as a tool and you treat it as a tool, which means you need to develop skills and you need to practice and you need to build your own kind of like flair and technique. I'm a crafty, creative person, and it's taken me 15 plus years of doing hand embroidery to really like nail and establish my own style for doing hand embroidery. And I've got that on lock, but it's taken me 15 years of stabbing fabric and playing with thread to really create my own unique piece of art that stands apart from everyone else that does hand embroidery. The same is true with your content, and it's especially true when you're using tools to create content at a scale level like AI.
Right. And the important thing to know here is that your content needs to reflect your personality. So there is an aspect of learning how to use the tools, which Jennifer does, and teaching you how to use the tools, which Jennifer does, to make it sound like you. Because if your stuff looks like Me Too and sounds like Me Too, it's not a winning combination. You can put out all the content in the world and it's never going to convert. But when you start showing up authentically as yourself and leveraging ChatGPT and other AI tools as an amplification tool, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah. And you have to be giving, we talk about those ingredients. You have to be giving ChatGPT not just high quality ingredients, but you have to give it a lot, right? You're not just creating a single cupcake. You're creating like a wedding cake to feed 500, if you kind of want to stick with the cake analogy. And so the more you give it and the more it understands you, that's part of the reason why I love ChatGPT specifically, is because they've created a lot of updates and they've done a lot of work in how it functions, and it now has memory. And it can remember the things you've told it and the things you've referenced in the past, so that you can continually just build on the value that you've already kind of built inside of the GPT. And I treat it as if I'm having a conversation. I say please and thank you because one day if they do take over, I want them to remember that I was kind. If we're going to joke about, the eventual future of it. But
Yeah.
the more you give it and the more you have conversations, I'm constantly asking ChatGPT to reflect back what I just gave it, like the information I just gave it, and digest it and break it down and ask me more questions. So I'll give it, a transcript from a podcast episode that I did, or I'll give it, some clips and some words from a video I recorded, or I'll type in answers to questions that it's asked me, and I'll say, please reflect back what you've learned about my business from this information. And it will break it down. It'll digest it. It'll give me talking points. And then I'll say, what else do you need to learn from me about my perspectives on this topic? And it'll ask me as many questions as I tell it to. So I can constantly be having a conversation and priming it to look and to learn about me and to look at the world and the way I market and the way I create content from my perspective, so that when I tell it, hey, create me Instagram content on this idea, it's got a real depth of knowledge of who I am, how I show up, and how I function in the world. And not just that, but how I speak, right? So getting your tone and your style to match what comes out of ChatGPT is part of the prompting process, but it's really key for it to not just sound like some sort of like textbook gobbledygook boringness that anyone can push out from ChatGPT. You got to really know how to tell it what your tone and your style is, because that's when it actually starts to feel like you. And most of my content these days, like 99.9% of the content I put out into the internet, is generated through well done prompting through ChatGPT. And I have not ever had anyone come back and be like, you're using AI to write your content, aren't you? Because it sounds like me. It's comparable to everything that I wrote on my own for years, doing all of the hard work by myself.
Yep, 100%. And I do similar things too.
Yeah.
Writing lots of blog articles for clients, writing lots of blog articles for myself, case studies, all the things. It's amazing how you can just really leverage the tools.
Yeah. You can do your email marketing, and you can generate, 100 emails in an hour if you sit down and give it the right amount of information and the right information, and then point it in the right direction, right? So, it's really just about knowing what you want the end result to be, and then constantly reflecting back and having it give you better results on a regular basis. But I think one of the things people do wrong when they're looking at ChatGPT and creating content is they just go into ChatGPT and they start a new conversation, and ChatGPT has no idea who they are or what they do for business. And they're just like, I'm a social media manager. Write me 10 Instagram posts that are going to make me go viral. Okay. It's going to be so generic and so what everyone else has done that it's going to suck, quite frankly. You can't do that and be effective and be authentic with your marketing and using ChatGPT as a tool. It just started storming here and I need to close my window. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to lean this way.
Oh, good luck. Yeah, we are hoping for rain here shortly. Yeah, no, and the thing about using ChatGPT, and one of the things I did with ChatGPT was literally feed almost all 200 pages of my marketing book through ChatGPT.
Amazing.
And I have fed hundreds of blog articles through. And even for clients that do CMO work and that type CFO work, we actually, use that basis of that level of quality of content and turn out higher level of content and higher quality of content. And it does amazing work.
Yeah. Anything you have that a resource you've built, whether it's a freebie, whether it's blog articles, guest posts, podcasts, other places, if you have like video content and you don't have it in a transcription, like get it into a transcription, use one of the amazing transcription services and turn it into words and put that in ChatGPT. And one of my favorite ways to get like really good value out of a piece of content that I've given ChatGPT is that I actually tell it to give me talking points. So, review this piece of content and give me 10 or 15 talking points that I can use to create more content. And then I use that talking point to like have it ask me more questions to go deeper down, right? Like you're following the rabbit hole of the content deeper and deeper into your knowledge and expertise. And that's really where the content starts to turn into gold. Like the deeper you can go and the more you can give it And the more you can like layer in the value of your experience and your expertise, the better and the more high quality it's going to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you create, you know, you co-create a book or co-create other things, leveraging the tools. You're not relying on it to just regurgitate information, but you use it to clean up, refine, polish your ideas and, you know, essentially who you are and what you do, and give it more refinement than, you know, maybe you could do on your own. It's an amazing, you know, AI word editor essentially.
Yeah. And I've also heard people using it for like brainstorming. It's great for brainstorming ideas, and just like sometimes just getting the creative process started with AI is great for you to then go and manually create some copy or content, or it sparks an idea and you just like you're ready to type your little fingers to the bone
100%.
because you're so excited about this idea. The other thing that ChatGPT is really good for, and I don't think it's talked about enough, is ChatGPT specifically, but there are also other AI tools that work amazingly for doing market research, because the AI has access to the entire internet, right? Like the whole internet can be researched, and you can really hone in on the pain points of your ideal client. If you tell it what you're trying to sell and who you think your ideal client is, and you can start having it ask you questions, and you can start asking it questions, and you can really dive into what the pain points are, how you solve them, and like really what makes a difference in how you stand apart in your programs and your services and your offerings or your actual product that really solves the problem that they're looking for. And then you can start creating content and marketing around those pain points. Pain points and knowing your ideal client is something marketers and entrepreneurs have been talking about for hundreds of years. You know, it's like a thing that's always been a standard in marketing. But the tools to like dive deeper and really truly understand people, and not just be like, oh, my ideal avatar is named Susan and she's 32 and she has 2 kids. You can actually get some facts to back up that information through ChatGPT, which is really cool too.
I love it. Yeah. And I use it like that all the time too. I love it. If you haven't checked it out, y'all check out Jennifer's Facebook group. Make sure you go in there, join it, get some amazing resources from her. She is such an amazing resource and a wealth of resources. The links are above and below. Check it out and let's do this. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thanks for having me, Haley.
We'll see you soon. We'll be back here on, I'm going to keep picking Jennifer's brain, so you'll be seeing lots of her. Thanks, guys.
Bye.